Hi there everyone! Since I haven't been able to stream too much during these past few weeks, and haven't been playing as much Dark Souls 2, because I've been occupied with other games as well, I thought I would make this invasion video with this post-commentary to shake that PvP rust that I've been having. At first I tried to get invasions from many different areas, but it turned out that there was, on the hour that I played, no one anywhere, so I had to turn for the last resort, Iron Keep Bridge. So the following clips you're about to see are all the fights I was able to get within 1 hour spent in the place some players call the Satan's Anus. So let's see how it went. So here is our first fight, a player named Hans, and I must give some credit to this guy. He's actually using a fairly underused weapon, which is the... is that a craftsman's hammer or a blacksmith's hammer? I don't know. But some kind of hammer, you don't really see those too often. So on this video I'm just rolling with my pyro strength build that used the bandit axe and 3 different pyros. So not one of my most challenging setups, I must say. I just wanted to relax a bit and do some innovations. It's nothing too flashy, so just trying to shake that rust, as I said. Trying to get my PvP flow going, so to speak. So there, he just keeps on attacking. I just roll into that and take hits, but I'm able to turn that to my advantage here and take the roll catch, and that is the end of the first fight. So, if I don't remember... yes, this is Mr. Dragonfry. I'm going to duel with this guy a few times during this video, and he is, I must say, quite delightful personality, as you are going to see very soon. So, in here he just... he seems like his guy, ready for PvP, having all those hexes, all those castings, Gover Zone, everything. Seems like a very functional PvP setup to me. But as you can see here, I'm kinda wrecking his ass a little bit. Not too roughly though. First he results to healing a little bit, which is, I guess, okay if you're into that sort of stuff. But then, what happens then? He disconnects. I fail to understand players like this. I cannot understand the thought process behind going into PvP location, doing PvP, and when you're going to lose, you're going to disconnect. I don't get it. But okay, next fight. This is the guy named Blizzybro. He is using the General's Trident. A weapon that I actually see quite a bit on PvP for some reason. I haven't been able to test it out myself, so I don't know if it has some hidden good qualities. That reminds me that there is quite a bit of weapons I still need to test out. Maybe I will at some point get all the weapons in the game, and that is GG. Get all the weapons in the game and put them on the same video, just play with all the weapons, and that would be fun, but we'll have to see if that ever happens. So, here's a player named Vasilisk. This is another very slicky motherfucker, not on his first fight if I remember correctly, but he does some slicky sneaky stuff in the later times I meet him. But yeah, just... there was a lot, and there I tried to backstab him, but for some reason I just punched him in the face, which was pretty hilarious looking. But yeah, Iron Keep Bridge is not my favorite places to PvP, just because of how the layout of the level is in there. It kind of favors mages, sort of, and because of the curvatures of the bridge, some hitbox issues occur from time to time, which are not too nice, and so on and so forth. But yeah, there were a lot of mages on this session, by the way. Ah, here we have the Mr. Dragonfly again. You will never guess how this match is going to end. You will never find it out. So he proceeds to cast all the possible magic he has. This is his tactic, apparently. He will cast all the spells he has, and then he proceeds to do the ultimatum, which you will see in a moment, if I don't remember wrong. There he goes to healing. Healing doesn't work. What now? Mom? Mom? And mommy was there. Fast fingers. Fast fingers. So the next fight. Duke Ferenzi. No. Actually this fight is... I invade the Duke Ferenzi, but I end up fighting the Karuga. And maybe if... Well, I'm spoiling a little bit here, but this is the first fight I actually lose. This was a fun session in the sense that every single fight that I actually lost were some of the best fights in this session. Because to me, it doesn't really matter. Well, of course it matters. I always aim to win fights, but if you have a good fight, it doesn't really matter to me if I win or lose. If I feel that the fight is good, that's all that matters to me personally. And it was a nice session in the sense that most of the fights that I lost were the best fights that I had. And yeah, I did some stupid stuff in that fight, so I deserve to lose. Fair and square. GG. Well played, well played. Okay, here is the Basilisk again that I mentioned earlier. And I think we are going to see his slicky moves here. And yeah, this kind of shows that the main reason why I don't like fighting pure mages, usually, I don't say every time, but on most cases. Because when you are going with the melee build against full mage build, it's just going to follow the same formula. You're going to chase them around forever, they are going to run away and cast at you, and then they are going to run away and you're just going to sneak in some running attacks there. It's okay. I guess it's just how the situation works when you're when you face each other with those kind of builds, but it's not the matchups I prefer personally, because it's kind of boring when you can only use your running attack and you're just running with them. And look at this! What the hell? It just runs on the railing and then teleports there and jumps there to heal. This is his tactic actually. He uses this against me later as well. He jumps there and heals in peace and tries to challenge me again. Which is, I must say, kinda douchey, but everything goes. So let's see if that actually saves him. Spoiler, it doesn't. It's just, I don't know, this is only my experience, guys. This is my experience, but the players who use Estus against me usually are not the best players. Like, yeah, it's a rough talk, but it's just a reality. Everyone who has chugged against me have not been very competitive in this game. And I think it's just because you don't learn anything by chugging. You just don't learn. You don't learn to how to not make mistakes, because you can make them. Like, you can make a ton of mistakes if you just test them out. So, yeah, just something to think about. Okay, Mr. Dragonfry again. Now he's just waving his arm at me. He's knowing how this is going to end, and I know it as well, so I'll just proceed to just chase him down a little bit, deal hits every now and then. I know what is going to happen eventually. Mom is coming closer to the rotor, ready to pull that plug, and yeah, that's just something that happens. And here, backstab, but yeah, he disconnected again. I really do not know what is the thought process in these kind of players' minds when they go into the PvP situations, like, why do you play if you're so afraid to lose? I do not get it. I just do not understand. But I don't know, maybe I'm stupid or something. Well, I am stupid, but that's another topic. So here another caster. There are a lot of casters in this little session that I had. A lot of casters. And usually I encounter a lot of casters in Iron Keep Bridge for some reason. So that is nothing new really, but yeah. Now that I actually recorded these duels in there, I kind of realized more. So there is a weird input fail in there. Look at that. I was standing behind him, I was pressing the attack button, but nothing came out. I'm not sure why. Sometimes those input fails just happen. You stand there like an idiot doing nothing. It was a lot more common in Dark Souls 1. Excuse me. It was a lot more common in Dark Souls 1 that there were some input fails, but not so much in the Dark Souls 2. Okay, here's the Mr. Dragonfly again. Look at this. Look at this undeniable move. This is quite something. Boom! I think his rotor was so exhausted by all the block pulling at this point that something very weird happened there. Okay, Zareli Ara. Okay, this is one of the best, I remember this fight. This is one of the best fights of the session, in my opinion. It was quite fun. So, that was a pretty good dodging in there, I think. Sometimes I just, when people use that buffering, it almost feels like they have more iframes, which is not the case, usually. It adds the adaptability, but it doesn't add iframes if you don't hit some kind of a... What's the word? I gotta get it in my mind, but yeah, you know what I mean. But it feels like it, because when you miss and there is that puff of smoke, it looks like there is more iframes, but I don't think that's the case. That is just a visual bonus. But yeah, he has the parry dagger, so I resort to my pyro a little bit more in this fight, because it's the downside of using like the buckler or target shield or parrying knife, because... or parrying dagger, sorry. It kind of gives you out. You gotta give out that you are going to go for a lot of parries, and I'm not going to give you those free parries usually, especially with weapons I know how to play. And that was well-timed guard crush from this player, well-timed one, because that was the only point I actually blocked in this fight. I raised my shield just for a second and he was able to get that guard crush off, and that was awesome. I think it was very well timed, and I go down. Once again, a very good fight, which I actually lost. That seems to be on this session's team. So, yeah, here I get the rematch of the guy that beat me earlier. So, let's see how that goes. On the last fight, I kinda made stupid mistakes against him. I rolled into his attacks like a retard. That seems to be one of my problems, actually. I roll into attacks too much. When people like decide to spam a lot, I feel that I fall victim to that too often. That is the thing. You should always try to roll to the side or back, depending on your opponent, not in them. Because it seems that there are still people who spam a lot of attacks, and I gotta get used to people not spamming attacks after the setup parrying got more popular. People got the hang of it a lot more, and after that people didn't spam too much anymore, but the spamming is coming back, or let's not say spamming, but attacking a lot of times in a row. That is making a comeback, because people like me will actually roll in it. But there I was able to get my revenge in there with the fire whip. Nice, nice, nice. And it's nice to get these rematches, because sometimes the first encounter with some some people just turns to shit and kinda leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Kinda makes you wonder if you could have done any better if there were more fights. And this is I think I will fight this guy like 2 times in this session. Julia. And here I just feel him out a little bit. I'm just checking what's his thing. But there is smacking attacks in there, but he blocks them both. He doesn't go in the attack. I thought he would like start attacking while I hit his shield once, but that wasn't the case though. His tactic is kinda just go for all out Arbon spam on random spots. I get the backstab in there, and then I wake up with the fireball and finish him off. Fireballs in this place are very beneficial because there's a very limited space to move around, so it's kinda easy to land those firebombs when they hit, or fireballs, when they hit to the walls and create that flaming rectum wherever they touch. So yeah, so here I'm a little bit confused if this host is going to be hostile, but he is not. He's actually cooking up a fight in here, and I get to fight a naked guy with a dagger. But I know better than to underestimate naked builds, because if you guys aren't aware, I used to play a lot with naked builds. Even in Dark Souls 2, it was more my thing on Dark Souls 1, but on Dark Souls 2 as well. And I know what kind of power those builds can possess. And this is a good demonstration of that. So he is using the Black Flamestone Dagger, a very dangerous weapon, as most of you guys might know at this point. Very fast, doesn't require stats too much. With the Stone Ring, good Poise breakup as well. Daggers are very dangerous weapons. I never take them lightly, and here you can see I'm trying to be very cautious with it, because those are the kind of weapons that if you go into hastily, you are going to get punished. And that's how you play daggers, and this guy plays it pretty well actually. He has the Giant's Ring on, so he has quite a bit of poise as well, which actually benefits him on one section of this fight. He waits around for me to attack and tries to punish it most of the time, and that is the, well, that is honestly the way you play daggers. That's the way I play daggers, at least. It's very effective tactic, and you need to be very patient with these guys, very patient, so you can get like any hits in. I do a decent job in this, but I feel I could have done way better, been a little bit more patient. But yeah, don't underestimate naked builds, and definitely not Black Flamestone Dagger, if that is the name of the weapon. Black Flamestone? I think it is. He has also tons of health. Even though I sneak in pretty juicy hits in there, he can take a lot of hits. So I come close, but I think here I try to trade this last hit, but he's faster. Dagger is faster, and GG. That was a good fight from him. Very well played. So off to our next fight. This is Ladonna. If I remember correctly, this is just a mage, another mage, and I was kind of bored with mages at this point, so I just decided to rush in, try to take a hit on their, well, eat those pursuers or affinity or whatever that is in Dark Souls 2 to the face, but that doesn't stop me. I just go in and wail at him like a freaking madman. Sometimes I just do this. I go in and gombo the living shit out of my opponents. Sometimes I don't plan things. I like to go on a whim. And yeah, look at that, it paid off. Sometimes you just don't need to think too much. If you would need to think too much, this wouldn't be the game for me, because I'm not the thinking type. I'm not too smart of a man. So yeah, here we have the Faram Knight. pretty faithful to the cosplay. Also, he has the buckler, so I'm knowing that he's going for a lot of parries. So obviously I'm not going to give him those. Well, sometimes if people just spam a lot of parries, try to parry every attack you throw in there, they might get a parry out eventually, but usually I don't give it to them. I know how the parry works, so I usually, at least with the weapons that I can use, I don't usually get parried. There are some exceptions, but there are a lot of things that you can avoid to get parried. And I utilize on those. I use my pyro, use jumping attacks, kind of delay my attacks and my backstep attack follow-ups and things like that. Just the little things. You know what I'm talking about. So here I try to like bait him with the pyro, do my own parry, but I was a little bit too late in there. But I was still able to get the victory out of that one. So next player up is named Landvol. I cannot remember who this player is actually, so we have to see. I don't know what was going on in there, why I stood there so long. Oh yeah, it's the evening's only red iron twin blade. This is the weapon I see all the time. But not today, it seemed, within this hour at least. I didn't see only this one, and it didn't go so hot for him. Because it seems that a lot of players using this weapon use the exact same tactics, which is that they start like a combo early, like trying to bait you in there. They like whiff few attacks in the air, just thinking, oh my god, I missed, and now he's going to dive to me and I can continue my combo. But that doesn't happen. I'm just, so many people have been using that against me that I'm getting kinda used to it by now. It was very effective at first, but yeah, fool me once, fool me once. Okay, so here we have our old buddy Wasilisk. He already popped a life gem in there. So here I just go to town. I don't want him to start running away from me again because he's a pure mage. And yeah, I already talked about that earlier. So here he runs again and I know exactly what he's going to do. So I equip my fireball and off you go, fucker. Oh, so satisfying. Fool me once. So this next one is also one of those fights where you can actually see Poise in full effect. When people say that Poise doesn't matter in this game, I beg to differ. In this fight it clearly shows that Poise had a lot to do with the outcome of this fight and how the certain situations went. So there I wish I would have been using the battle axe so I would have reached him. Okay, here I used the, I think it was here. No, I trade with the combustion. Here I used the fire whip. And here, see, he poises through that and actually sneaks in 2 hits to me. That was the first instance. And the second one I think comes here. Yes, I get my R2 combo, but he poises through that and gets 1 hit before getting stunned in there as well. So very effective use of poison there, and I go down. Once again, one of the best fights in the evening, in my opinion, and once again I lost it. Well played, well played. Okay, this next fight demonstrates well one of my weaknesses. I've mentioned this before in my live invasion sessions, but I really cannot fucking fight lances. It's one of my nemesis weapons. I know that this isn't a lance weapon, but it has the lance moveset. At least some of its attacks are lance moveset attacks, and those are the nastiest attacks I have problems with. So there's the one. The running attack, it has unbelievable reach, and it poisoned me instantly. So here I'm, oh my goodness, half of my health gone with one good combo in there. And there comes another. Look at that range. Wow! It's so inaccurate. The hitbox looks so inaccurate, and that is my most problematic thing with fighting lances. Those hitboxes are so deceiving. I don't know if any one of you guys have same problems as me. I haven't heard a lot of people complaining about lances or having problems with them as I have, but I don't know, I just get wrecked by them sometimes. I don't know. Okay, here we have Black Knight. Kind of cool fashion. He's kind of a traditional knight looking. I think that's a broadsword he's actually using in there. Mad props for the fashion. I really like these traditional knight armor setups. They look always so cool. And he gets a little bit of stamina loop in there on me, but nothing too serious. I think he was on the edge of his stamina limits in there, not dealing much of damage, so it wasn't nothing too dangerous to me, to be honest. So what to say about this fight? There is this was actually a very fun fight. So here is I think the evening's only parry. That was kind of a sure setup parry there. R2 is parryable with just about any weapon, or setup parryable. So it's very forgiving timing wise as well. So that wasn't nothing this spectacular, but hey, at least I parried once in this session, I think. With this setup I don't go too much for parries because I have the pyro on the side. I have a huge attack power on my bandit axe with the combo abilities and everything, so it's not my top priority to parry. I go in for parries sometimes when I see them, but not too much with this setup, not too much. So here is Julia that I fought earlier. This time he's, or she is, I don't know which one it is, ready for revenge. She or he has buffed his or her weapon and is wailing on me. But it isn't going too hot for her or him. Oh, this is annoying. Whichever it is. His tactics hasn't really changed, so now I really know what he's up to, or she is up to, and there she or he goes. So here's a Ladon again. This is the caster. As I said, I'm pretty fed up with the casters at this point of the session, and I just go in there and just try to land my most delicious combos because I don't see any parrying tools on his or her disposal. So I just go into town and whack the living shit out of my opponent as soon as I can. Like, it's all you can do, really, against mages who run away from you and cast. It's just, yeah, not my thing, not my preferred style of fight. So here is the only hacker of the evening, Senator Armstrong. I don't know how much hacking is actually involved to this build. It is impossible to say with hackers how much there is actually. Is the build legit? I don't know. But the name is hacked, so he's a hacker of some sort. Doesn't really matter. Here he hits with him. Look at that damage. Wow. That was one hit. Look at my health bar there. And there the outcry, and that is a 2-hit kill. I'm not sure if he chipped me with the fist in the beginning, but wow. That was some powerful fast pyro in there. I get demolished. But it's all alright because the last fight of the evening is actually he invades me. So I get my rematch. And I just let you guys see how that turns out. So it's a shameful thing that every time I see a hacked name, I cannot, like, as much as I would like to give credit to these players, I'm hesitant because I don't know how much hacking goes into these builds. When I see the hacked name, all I can think about, has he hacked his damage some sort of a way, his health, what is his level, does he have max iframes, Is his soul memory legit? All these things go through my head when I fight hackers. If there's going to be some super attack that doesn't really exist in the game coming out of nowhere and bite me in the ass at some point of the fight, that's the things I'm just thinking all the time when I'm fighting these hackers. So it's just, I don't know, it's something I'm puzzling in my head, and that's why I prefer not fighting hackers of any kind, really. I don't mind them as much as some other people do. And here is one of the rare occasions I have ever escaped an outcry wake up. It hits me on 9 out of 10 times. When I get backstabbed or parried, when they wake up with the outcry, it has almost always hit me in the ass and dealt a ton of damage. People have actually killed me with that combo. Backstab plus the outcry wake up, or parry outcry wake up, whatever. And it is nasty business. So I'm very, very happy about that it didn't land me in there, because that would have killed me actually. So here I was actually able to finish this Senator Armstrong here. Again, I don't know how much he was hacked, but yeah. Oh, so yeah, that was my 1 hour at Iron Keep Bridge. Thanks for watching everyone, and take care.